Hello and welcome to another episode of Through a Different Lens, but this time we got a bonus episode. I'm your co-host Joe,
I'm your co-host Jacob.
and we've got a special guest with us.
Yes, we
If
do.
you would like to introduce yourself, young man.
Yes, my name is Joshua Fawole, so happy to be on the podcast. Let's do it.
Nice.
Thank you for being with us.
Of
You
course,
get me?
of course.
Obviously, I just recently met you, and you seem like a proper cool brother. You obviously know Jacob.
Yep.
So let's get a bit of backstory, because I said, you know what, Jacob, I'm going to hear it the first time here
Yeah.
as well, you get me? So, yeah.
Yeah, backstory. I guess even it's definitely before I met you. So I'll just start football-wise because that's kind of how we connected as well.
Yeah.
I was playing in America out of college. First year pro was over there. It was actually when COVID hit, so didn't get that many games in. Just overall, the league, like everything, just pretty much shut down very fast. I think we all know how lockdown was over here as well. It's tough. And then I came in 2021, went on a few trials. I didn't sign with Aldershot, where I met you, until like August of 2022. And then since then, it's just been, a good journey and transition over here into England. I've got lots of family, so it hasn't been too difficult to stay with them for quite a while. Made the transition real good. Football wise, it's definitely been a journey in England. I played for a decent amount of clubs, decent amount of managers, come across, many different people. But yeah, met Jacob first year, Aldershot. Definitely became a good friend. And then, since then, Maidstone, Dulwich Hamlet, Aveley, just, a few other clubs.
Yeah.
And then, just been getting a feel of everything. Levels.
What I wanted to ask, because I actually don't know, what was your journey in America? So we've read up, we've done some research, as we like to do. We saw you got drafted by DC United. In the 2020.
Quick one on the draft. We when we were reading, I saw MLS Super Draft, and obviously we follow NFL and NBA quite a lot. What's the reasoning for them calling the soccer one Super Draft compared to? Is it anything, or were they just trying to make a statement?
I think it may have just been trying to make a statement.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you what the Super was for.
Because it then had me going and Googling Super Draft,
Draft,
what's going on?
I've not even seen if they've changed the name of it or anything, but it might just be the way that they've called it for MLS, the Super Draft.
Okay.
That was I believe the first year was like mostly online or so.
Yeah.
Or like in our homes, because I'm telling you, that's when COVID was just destroying everything.
Okay,
So,
I think I remember reading up. It was like all video conference.
Exactly. Yeah. All video conference.
So like that experience. That video conference experience. Like, were you with your family, etc.? Like, what was it like? Because you must have probably envisaged a year before or so, like the proper draft aspects.
Yes.
Because I've never seen a soccer draft. I've only obviously seen NFL and NBA drafts.
Yeah.
So are the soccer ones exactly kind of like the same formats where they're like in a big auditorium or something like that? And
yeah, previously it was like that. So like I was saying, I believe our year was kind of when things changed. But the way the draft works, or the way it worked in the MLS that year, was the first round were most of the video ones. So I was drafted second round, like midway through the second round. It was 40 something. I was picked.
42?
Yeah,
42,
42
Yeah.
exactly. So after like the first round or so, or maybe after the first 10 or so, they stopped doing the video, and then it was more so just like following the ticker online. So you kind of just had to keep refreshing your page, and then the pick would come for the next one, and the next team, your name would just pop up.
So you're telling me you found out through a refresh?
I found out by staring at the screen and just seeing, is my name going to come up? Because they put out a list of eligible players to get drafted.
Right.
So you have to make that list first to know that you're eligible to get drafted.
Okay.
It's not just like, I played Division I college soccer, I can be drafted or so. You would know ahead of time if you're eligible to be drafted. So that's why you really just lock in.
Do you declare?
Just about to ask
Do you declare? You see, like the NBA and the NFL, you declare. So you don't declare someone, you're put into a group or into a pot.
Yeah, I believe the coaches of the conference vote the best players for the leagues.
Okay.
As far as I know, that's how it worked. I didn't declare or do anything on my part to say I want to get drafted. Like, I'm glad I got put forth
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I
you can
didn't.
obviously turn that down if you wanted to.
The pick.
Yeah, or like turn down being being
Could,
called
but
out.
I don't
Yeah. No, I'm saying like
Yeah.
if you were just playing football or soccer for fun, and they were like, shit, he's really good, blah blah blah, and they've just put you in the draft system, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, thank you, but no, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess rare scenario.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of how it went. I was on the nominee list, I would say, and I just followed along. In the second round, I was like, okay, I feel like this round would work for me.
Okay.
And God put me in a good situation. I was drafted about 42nd. It was like halfway through.
Right.
The experience was great, nonetheless.
Yeah.
There wasn't a video or anything for me, but I remember like seeing my name pop up for DC United, and I was real happy. DC's obviously like an hour away from me as well. I could have been anywhere in the country, but DC was an hour away from me, so really good experience, and knew some of the players on the team. Played with one of them when I was much younger, so it was kind of like a full circle type moment. And yeah, it was a good experience.
So how was that transition from college football to? I know you didn't play in the MLS, but how was it? How was that transition from college football to the MLS? Just being in that environment, being in that building, because obviously we see the Premier League and what it is, and we come from obviously scholar days through academy to getting into the first team. What's it like from college to the MLS? What's the differences that you saw?
The differences I saw were mostly it's just the quality within the team and the training. You know how they say always like the best players in the world just do the simple things correct. Like they'll do the simple things every time, and just this is really good consistency. I think to my college program credit, it was quite a professional environment. You know, we had a good setup there, really good team throughout my years. We won the league like 3 years in a row, and we did quite well. You know, everything was good on and off the pitch. Great players. The coaching program actually pushed us to a really good, degree. And so just in terms of that aspect, I was kind of used to that organization.
Right.
And then obviously it's college. You're playing with people my age to playing with grown men and guys that have been doing it at that stage for who knows how long.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just it was a good jump, but it's like how I play as well, like aggressive and stuff.
Yeah,
so
we know. We know. For anyone that knows, you know.
Yeah, so that bit was all right, and I've played with adults before, so that was fine. Yeah, it was good. It's obviously still D1 college soccer to the highest level in America. So yeah.
Did you go to college like in your hometown? Because I read up you were born in Columbia, Maryland, right?
Yeah.
So did you like play there, or obviously I keep on going back to the NFL comparison, but like say how the colleges, you'll think, okay, this is the best soccer college in a different state. Did you ever look for those kind of colleges, for instance, or just comfortable staying at home where you grew up? And
yeah, I definitely looked as far as I could in the country. I didn't have a preference. I knew I wanted to play D1, but I didn't have a preference of staying home or anything.
So you would have moved anywhere?
I would have moved anywhere, truthfully. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, Loyola worked out. Obviously, Baltimore is like 30 minutes or so from Columbia. It's not too far. And, yeah, I would have honestly, when I visited different schools along the East Coast, anything that like showed good interest in me. And then obviously you have to work out all the details and like scholarships and financials, but Loyola ended up fitting the best for me. Obviously great again in my backyard. I was able to drive, take my car, all those kind of benefits. Like
always better being at home, innit?
It is for sure, and it was good for me to do that. My college years, I was able to come home easily for holidays. I know some students weren't able to do that all the time. Like having to fly, even having to move like apartments or rooms, like that's trouble for me. I just put everything in my car and head home. It's real easy that way. But yeah, I looked at a decent amount of places. It's just that Loyola ended up being a good fit.
Is there any specific, like, how in college basketball there's the Kentuckys, the Iowas, there's Georgetown, those sort of things. Is there any particular like colleges for soccer? I don't like saying that, but for football, that are like the number one school to go to, or is it not like that?
No, definitely. So, I mean, we have the good conference are like Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could tell you all of them, but I know Big Ten's a good one for sure. Like the Stanford's good. Maryland is actually a good school where I'm my state, University of Maryland though, not Loyola. They're actually a good program. Like Duke was a good program. There's many other ones. North Carolina, they all had their stays at like the top and things like that. And it's mostly I would say like the state schools.
Right.
State schools generally were quite good for D1 college soccer. Generally quite good. Those are the ones where like a lot of people go to, and everyone says like the movies like 60K people. Like there are schools like that where it's packed. Goodness. Where it's just packed with people, and maybe you never see the same person twice. But
did you experience those kind of games, like atmospheres?
I did. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
I was like, me and Jacob and Deji, our other member, we previously spoke like saying that's one thing that I want to go to America for. Like I've gone to America, but to experience the college atmosphere, being at whether it's a college basketball game, college football game, college soccer game, like because college football, we're watching. Obviously, because of Dion, we're watching it more, and we're seeing like capacities of 60 to 100,000. Seeing that it can reach further.
It's very real.
You're like,
it's very real for other sports. I'll be truthful to you. It's very real for other sports. For soccer, yes, to a certain degree, and you will get those crowds at big state schools for sure. I know freshman year we played at Akron.
Okay, in Ohio.
Massive, massive one.
LeBron
James.
We played at, I think that was freshman year or sophomore year. We played there, and then what's this one school we played up north?
You say Dakota.
No.
That's far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What's this school's name? I forget, but it was like 4,000 or 5,000. What's that? I wanted to say Providence, but it's not Providence. But it was like 4,000 or 5,000 freshman year. My class was actually a really good class, really good players, and I knew a bunch of them. So we kind of made up our starting 11.
Oh, okay, the freshmen.
Most of us did, yeah. So it was like us young kids versus like established college players.
Right.
Because they were a good program, big school. I wish I remember the name.
So like the seniors of the.
Yeah, so like the seniors, juniors, and a few of them went MLS after. Remember that. I'm sorry, I don't have the name.
That's all right.
Yeah,
it'll probably pop into your
it'll
mind
pop
later.
into my mind at some point. But yeah, that game was rocking. They were in our goalkeeper's ear. Like, I think there were definitely nerves running through him. Goals that should not have gone in went in.
Did you ever get nervous for those type of games?
I think so. Just initially, but then it's just that it comes out of you quick.
Once you get going,
once you get going, it's like I played this game. Like I'm there, I'm here. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I was young. I don't think I'd ever played in front of those crowds yet at that point.
But at the same time, you live for those moments.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I'd like to think people do. Like,
most definitely.
You might initially it's natural for you to be nervous in that kind of environment, but because we were speaking about it a couple episodes ago. When you were talking on international, because I asked him on international duty if he ever not gets fearful, but when you're going into a hostile environment, like what your mindset will be like and stuff like that. And then I was like, just when I used to play back in the day, I used to thrive playing away games more than home games, for instance. Because I'm like, give me stick, give me two. As long as it's not over the line.
Be over the line, it'll just get worse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know how to channel my aggression through how I'm playing and stuff like that. So I just, obviously, with the American sporting atmosphere in general, it's just, I just love it.
It can be a different energy for sure. I think the thing is with me, I started to realize what made me nervous was just everything leading up to the match.
Yeah, always.
It's just always like obviously all the fans are there, the noise, the people getting riled up, and it's just like, we gotta go on. It's just everything will lead up to it, and then it's just. Even the walking out can be nerve-wracking. You think, oh, this is like, big pitch, like conditions, fans, obviously home or away, anything, like referee, the intensity of the match. Like you're thinking it's gonna be
way bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, and then you start playing, and it's like another game.
Yeah,
it's another game. It's always the case. So, even when I come to England and played because when I played in America. I didn't play in front of like too many big crowds.
Yeah.
I think Louisville City when I was at Loudon was the biggest. And to be fair, they've got a nice stadium, nice ground, and very good fan base. But I think once I come here, we played like, when we went to when I started that match.
Chesterfield away.
Chesterfield away. That was a good one. Yes. That was a very, very good one.
Yeah. Yeah, you came in probably for one of the biggest matches of the season.
Honestly, from what like
that was a funny week. That was a funny week. I'll be honest.
Yeah. That was an interesting one, but we started off well. If you remember, we started off well that match, and
we ended up drawing it, didn't we?
Yeah, we ended up drawing.
Should have won it.
Should have won it.
Yeah,
should have won it. I remember the.
Yep. Let's not talk about it. Yep. I do too.
Did you give away a pen?
No. Josh.
I said, let's not talk about it.
This brother. Oh, man.
Yeah, we should have won. We should.
Don't worry, I'll get that story off camera. I'll get that one off camera. 100%.
Oh, man.
For your college games, obviously, because America's so big, was there any distance-wise that the travel was crazy?
For college?
Yeah.
We flew only a few times. We flew to Texas to play SMU.
Jeez.
And they were a good program.
Yeah.
It was tough because like the best players on our team were out. Mm-hmm. The starters, like I normally started, my friend Nico started, my friend Brian started, my friend Barry started. They're all my class. And I think we all had like hamstring injuries at the same time.
Yeah.
Out for like 6 weeks. So we flew down there and we were missing a good amount of starters.
Oh, wow. Oh, so you guys will still travel with the team?
We still traveled that time, I believe. To this day, I'm not too sure why. But
the manager sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Because the only reason why I asked that is like, obviously, those distances, etc. Did you ever feel like, not celebrity to an extent, but like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The experience was good. Yeah. It feels professional to an extent, for sure.
And then when you're, say, playing at home and on campus, etc., like, just... what we see in movies or whatever, the jock atmosphere. Was it kind of like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely very real in America.
Even for soccer? Or is that now? Is that now? When you were playing, was it the same? Was it the same in terms of... I know you're not going to be as big as a quarterback or the NBA star, but you're the main player in the football team. How big is that in comparison?
To my school, like how it was in my school?
Yeah, like in your school, how big was your celebrity?
To be fair, we didn't have a football team.
Oh,
which was good because we were also a good soccer team. So
they got all the glory. They got all the glory.
Yeah, I'll be real. Like it helped for sure. I wouldn't say the celebrity feel, but like people knew on campus that we were a good program and we weren't getting outshined by a football program, for example.
Right.
However, lacrosse was really good. Lacrosse really good to their credit. Yeah, lacrosse is a big American sport, obviously. So they definitely were another really good team on campus. And basketball was good on and off seasons, I think.
That's it, on and off. that's not a great program.
It's tough for them. But yeah, I mean, I had good friends. Overall, though, yeah, we had no football program outshining us. Oh, wow. And our school wasn't too big, though. It was like 5,000.
Oh, okay.
So that even made it more like intimate in a sense, where like, if we won a massive game, the whole school would probably know about it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I typically saw the same people every day, so I would get a lot of like congratulations, not just me, obviously the team and whatever. So it was good in that aspect.
Was there any other sports that you really considered over football/soccer or
to play in college or just in general?
In general.
No.
So growing up in America, you were just straight.
I tried basketball in kindergarten. I remember I didn't dribble.
Sorry, what?
I just carried the ball. Like I thought
you were gonna at least say I was a spot-up shooter.
No, I had a vivid memory of just holding the ball and running, and I guess trying to lay up or trying to shoot. That's the only memory I have, and I know I went straight to soccer. I did do track in high school though.
Right.
Different.
So,
ball, obviously. But.
Because I know how you play football and you have an aggressive side to you. I'd have thought running back in like football.
Nah,
you never thought? No.
Nah. My knees would not let me do that. I had article slot on both knees in middle school. I was never already like attracted to American football.
Oh, really? Okay.
I didn't. No, I would never do that. It's just still to this day like NFL doesn't really attract me.
See,
I'm not that interested.
It's mad.
See, it's one of the odd Americans, I guess, that's not attracted to it.
Nah, man.
What about NBA? Do you like follow NBA or?
He actually likes football.
Straight soccer.
Yeah.
Since you just like soccer, we're gonna call it football from now on.
Yeah. That's the
rest
thing.
of it.
I played most of my career as a pro has been here.
Yeah.
I only played one season in America, and it was disrupted by COVID.
Right.
So,
right.
How was like the transition moving to London? I believe you said you've got family in London already.
Mm-hmm.
Had you been to London beforehand or?
Plenty of times,
Okay.
like 5 or 6 times. I'll be real, like the transition was like.
Yeah. I was thinking there'll be some adjustment period. He's like, nah. Been here.
Yeah, no, I think the adjustment came when I would just have to be more independent.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously anytime I come, I can stay with someone, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be taken care of and stuff, and do my best. But when I'm coming now for my career, and things don't work out, like say I go on trial and I don't sign, and say, okay, I gotta figure out what to do now, how to make money. Just come over here as an adult, trying to make it by myself, but also with family help.
Yeah.
There were difficulties there, but in the end, while I was signed to clubs here, it got much better for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Well, also what I wanted to also touch on, as you know, well, as the crowd are going to know, you have a brand.
Yes.
Joshua Mohammed, I've spoken about on the podcast before. I'm actually wearing it right now.
Yes,
yeah.
Great piece.
Yeah,
it's always on me, so.
You never stop wearing
I feel
it.
like you've worn it on it was mostly on our episodes when we weren't doing visual, just more audio.
Yeah.
I think then maybe 1 or 2 visuals you probably worn it on, but
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite brands anyway. And obviously, you're here, and we wanted to talk about like building brands outside of the game.
Yes.
Because you're one of the people that I see that is successful in doing that, or have some form of success doing that. So, just wanted to touch on and speak about your journey in Joshua Mohammed and the people that you have wearing it. Like we've seen some of the NFL players and the big celebrities in the world putting on this brand right now. So, yeah, what's your story behind this brand and how's it come to light, really?
Yeah, so it all started in 2020. I've always been interested in sewing, firstly. Just like making garments and doing things, just kind of custom, just freehand, and just enjoying, creating, cutting things up and stitching things back together. And my current partner now, Mohammed, that I do the brand with, he's always been into fashion. Has a very good fashion sense and understanding of like industry things, and has really good like design and capabilities of putting things together. Always well dressed. We met in college, and
nice.
Always been a well dressed guy. He had approached me about potentially starting a brand, so that was kind of the spark of let's put our ideas together, figure out where we can go, and of course you've got to develop a brand name, brand identity, all those things. You don't want to rush, so it took a bit of time, but we came to Joshua Mohammed. It's essentially just my identity, myself as a person, mixed with him, and both of our names, and obviously it's like a thing where we can both bring our background and perspectives into this creative channel. So, and yeah, I'm Christian, religious background. He's Muslim. Those two names together also shows that unity that we have, and that's been a key value for us within our brand, unity. In anything that we do, we want to be sure there's that aspect involved. The people we work with, the places we go, the things that we do, how we work within each other, always unified and always like collaborating, talking, and doing things, in junction with each other. So, yeah, that was 2020. Since then, it's been good. It's been great in terms of like success.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of things to get done. There's a lot of things to get done that you don't foresee at the moment.
Right.
But obviously the return is, everlasting.
From obviously you said you started 2020, but you were in in London for the last couple of years then before going back. Was it hard like working on your brand whilst you're here, and obviously it technically being based in the US or
Yes.
or do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Exactly. I know what you mean, because we formed in America and we were both staying there at the moment.
Yeah.
So obviously all of the operations started there. And then, so I had come to London for football. My partner he was in New York at the time, and now he's in Dubai. So it was kind of a thing where we still always call almost every day.
Yeah.
And work, together over the phone and things like that. But there were definitely difficulties of like trying to see what we could do in person versus just over camera or whatever. But in the end, we've always ironed things out. We've always gotten things done. Work with great people, get great content. Put forth our best effort anywhere we can, and things have been blossoming.
No, definitely. As I said before, I see it all the time, and I'm a real advocate, and I love the brand. To be fair, as you know, I'm always trying to get something from him.
That, yeah.
Don't worry, I'll be getting my own.
That's okay. Good,
it's mad because I didn't even know I was on your mailing list. And
oh really?
Yeah. So,
someone try and get that.
No, because Jacob said to me about like the drop today and stuff like that.
Yes.
And when we were coming here, I was like, nah, the drop was earlier than expected because I got the notification.
He told me.
And Jacob's like, no, this ain't the time yet. And I was like, bro, the email's here. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair.
Who are some of like the high profile? Because we see like we obviously like NFL, so we see CD Lamb in it. We've seen Jake Paul in the brand. We've seen one of the Jonas Brothers in the brand.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you were in we were in America at the same time. I was on international. You were in Miami doing a show. And I was trying to make it out there. Pulisic bought a few custom pieces when you were doing your work for those sort of things.
Yeah.
So who were like some of the bigger? I've named some, but who were like some of
Essentially.
I was like, sorry. I know answer the question.
Who are some of the bigger names that obviously wear your brand, and obviously what kind of outlook do they have on your brand anyway?
Certainly the names that you've put forth.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. That's all good.
No, you can say the names again.
Yeah.
Zayn wore that sweater.
Oh yes,
which
yes.
That was really good and really big for us because he hadn't been on camera in plenty of years, 5-6 years, and then he was in our sweater on that podcast. So that was huge. Yep, Joe Jonas had put like a good message to us and ended up getting a piece. So yeah, we had a bunch of high profile people that have come through and gotten pieces, reached out to us. Definitely Jake Paul was huge. It was a good summer piece that he got, like the canvas work shirt. Summer was really good for us, and yeah, a few athletes. Like I said, CD Lamb. And
CD Lamb, top 5 receiver in the game now.
That was a huge one. That was definitely a huge one. And yeah, we just did some work now with Chris Richards, so that was a real good Crystal Palace boy. One of our good friends. So yeah.
No.
Oh, did you know him already or?
Yeah, I knew him already. We actually met at the fashion show in Miami, like last summer.
Yeah, Pulisic beat us. Pulisic beat us 5-0, and then went to the fashion show.
Oh, so
I had to go home.
Can you remember like who was like the first big name profile that actually reached out? That actually reached out. Or is it now just you can just reel off the names but can't remember?
Yeah, I can kind of just like go through the names. Yeah, it's kind of just like that, really. I can't really remember the first huge one, but it's been a steady progression, and then obviously those names I named were really good.
What was like that feeling like of when they like a big name reached out to both you and Mohammed in terms of
the feeling was really good. It was like, okay, like, people are tapping in.
Yeah.
Like they're really buying into what we're doing. I think Zayn was like a really, really big one because we're not really ever expecting it, because athletes and celebs, like, they can definitely get a lot of pieces from a lot of brands. They still just have to like it enough to put it on. So yeah, when we found out about the Zayn one, I was actually on the phone with Mohammed, and then we hung up, and he called me again and was like, Zayn's in our piece. So obviously I'm just like going through, and I see it, I'm just like, okay, this is like huge. It's definitely huge for us. And then I went through the Call Her Daddy podcast because that's what he wore it on. And getting like loads of views, millions on it, and it's good to see that your piece is like at the forefront.
Definitely.
He's in it, and obviously likes enough to put it on. So Yeah, that was a
So did he purchase it on his own back?
It was more so like him and his team.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so,
Well, that piece is nice. I still can't get it because he put it on.
He
He put it on and then it sold out. So
definitely went quick.
What are you saying? You're not bringing it back?
The thing is, we brought it back. We actually brought it back, and
Jacob
then it was
missed the
gone
drop.
again.
the thing is, so what I do is usually I phone Josh
Yeah.
directly and say, bro, what's coming out? And he says, if I need you, he always says, if I can hold something for you, I can hold something for you.
Yeah.
But if he can't, he can't.
Yeah.
And then half the time I'm asking him, because we're obviously on other sides of the world.
Yeah.
I'm asking him, what size do you wear? So I need to get
trying to
my
understand the fit.
because I've got an extra large hoodie, but really and truly I'm not extra large.
Yeah.
But the extra large hoodie fits well. So I'm asking him, what size did you wear? But then he likes to dress a bit differently to me.
Yeah.
So you get what I mean. But what's your aspirations for the brand going forwards? And what advice would you give to like someone trying to build a brand outside the game? Because obviously you've been successful in it. We're currently doing the podcast and building a brand really. What advice would you give for someone outside the game and your aspirations for the future of the brand?
Yeah, the advice I would say is definitely just keep going because, I mean, I've heard that in football plenty of times. It's just because there's so many ups and so many downs.
Yeah.
So many things you don't expect to happen will happen. And it's like, oh, it's just gonna like make or break me almost. Like I wasn't prepared for this. And we've experienced that for sure within the brand. It just takes a lot within you to be like, why did I start?
Right.
Like, why do I want to do it? Why am I still doing it? You kind of just have to really dig deep and think, this is what I want to do. And if it's not, fair enough. Like you don't need to force yourself to do something. If maybe like you want to change or find something else that like you're good at. But like if you started for this reason and you have you don't have like a real reason to quit.
Yeah.
Like everyone's going to experience hardship. It's like, you just got to get through it. So my advice is definitely keep going. It sounds very simple. Obviously, it's just a few words, but if you really deep it, it's like it means a lot to get to push through adversity and fight through what you can get through. And because in the end, it's like, I've done it. You don't need to prove to anyone, but like you can feel good within yourself that I know I can do this. I've done it. You can do anything you can put your mind to, essentially.
Definitely.
And that's the advice I would have to give.
I definitely agree. Like as basic as keep going can sound, it's like when someone asks about the podcast or like blah blah blah, and I'm just like consistent. As long as we're consistent,
Consistency is huge. It's huge.
I'm like right now I don't care about the outside noise. It's just for us doing like what we envisaged and what we planned, and it's good like to hear you saying it. Obviously, you're coming up to your 4th year in.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
So no, that is big. Was there ever a time like you felt football could get in the way of the clothing brand?
Or vice versa.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely there's times where I'm like, okay, how can I continue to do this full time but also do this full time? But in the end, it's just about properly balancing out tasks, organizing yourself, and working hard in both areas. When I first started, I was already a professional footballer, so I know and I knew I have to give 100% to both.
Right.
I can't be half, like one foot in one foot in the other. So it's like, do I want to do both? Do I want to do just one? Well, I told myself I'm going to do both.
Yeah.
Obviously, football is not going to last forever.
That's true.
Like our bodies will crumble, unfortunately. Or who knows? Like,
call it
a day. Like, you're not gonna play football forever. I think we all know that.
Of course.
So it's definitely good to build this right now with my partner. He's doing an excellent job. Doing everything that he can. I'm doing everything that I can, while still playing. So, yes, it's a blessed situation to be able to put my talent forth. With football still and within the brand and all those things.
No, 100% agree. I've obviously been playing in professional sports. You have that structure anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like it goes hand in hand. So and we can see that. Like I can definitely see that anyway because I can see how hard you work on the football side of things and on the brand side of things. It's even hard to get in contact with you half the time because you're doing both. But no, definitely. Quick one on we know you don't watch NBA,
Yeah.
but
Let's do it.
but
Let's do it.
you do because you're into fashion and you got your own brand. I know you see the walk-ins.
Yes.
Okay, so me and Joe had this discussion, and we wanted to put it to you. Do you feel like football should have the same sort of feel in terms of players coming in their own gear, their own personality? So they should do their own walk-ins as well. So football should have their own walk-ins, like Premier League walk-ins. Like everyone's in the same clothes, being the same. Whereas
Like a match day suit or
it's match day tracksuit.
Yeah, tracksuit or actual suits, etc. Whereas like NBA league fits got its
League
own place.
fits, yeah.
For instance, NFL, you see them guys, they're really ready for the drip. That is a game day before the actual game day.
Exactly, it's become its own like realm, its own thing.
Because we've been meaning to speak about this in general for a couple of weeks, but we've had it. And then when Jacob told me you're coming, Jacob's like, actually, we'll wait for Josh. And boom. And I was like, that's actually a very good point, because obviously you can now somewhat see, and because you know football here so well, you understand how it works both ways. So just for argument's sake,
No, I mean, I definitely do. I'm all about like expressing myself and obviously fashion and style. It's it kind of, I don't know, I feel like it depends. Like I feel like over here it would cause a lot of controversy. Like most definitely. I know how football fanatics react in this country when there's like any type of personality expression. I know how it is. So the thing is, in America as well, it's like kind of just anything becomes a market. Anything can become a market. So obviously, like we just said, that's become its own thing, and the Instagram page has gotten huge. League Fits is huge. Lots of people follow it, and then lots of players wear really high quality brands and everything like that. So I believe in it. I don't mind it too much at all, because it's not the match yet. It's kind of just like how I
express yourself before the game.
So
no.
I'm in favor, truthfully, if footballers start to do it.
But when you're playing football here, do you like the going in like in a training? Well, I say training kit, but you lot's own match kit. Like collectively as a team. How did you?
The thing is,
I know Jacob don't like that.
Like in a way, I don't really mind it, because like I get it. It's personal expression, but also I'm there to play football. So
I was gonna say, you're there for work technically.
The thing is, I don't think there should be backlash for if a club decided to do that. I don't think there should be any problem with it. I think when clubs go away and you travel, I'm all for the travel kit, like
I understand that
match and
like
the airport,
on the plane and that sort of stuff.
The away games and stuff.
Away
You'll
games.
see like Man City do it, AC
Milan.
Obviously
AC Milan.
they've
got their collab.
The big AC
that
Milan
Off-White collaboration.
Like, who's Man City with again?
D squared.
Like things like that. I'm like, all right, cool. Like game set match, but for like, I was always saying to Jacob, just like home matches, for instance, like bro. You're at home, go comfy, boom.
That's the thing. Like, you're at home, you should be able to do that. There shouldn't be. I mean, I'm saying shouldn't, but I'm saying like, if there is a rule change, like I said, I don't think that it should cause a whole scene. You're at home.
Definitely.
You should be able to wear your fit. The thing is, in America, we were able to do that. At home, I could put on, like I remember being at Loudon, we would just wear our fits to the match.
Right.
And I'm sure every club does that. Away, I think it makes total sense to match with your
I agree. I agree for away games, but home games, I'd say come with your own personality. Like feel free. Like this is your club. Everyone knows.
It's your
like
club.
Yeah,
exactly. So
like Barcelona do it. So Barcelona are one club that come to their home games in their own fits. Away games, then they're not a tracksuit team though. They have their own like away tailored fit. You get what I mean? So I think football's moving in the direction.
It's definitely moving into the direction of like, what can we do fashion related, but also like express ourselves as a club.
100%.
You can see it in Italy with AC Milan, like we said, Venezia FC.
My thing with that is,
who did Venezia do?
I think they were Kappa or something, but I know
there's
that
a big collab.
They're very like
fashion.
They're very fashion oriented club.
My thing is like, as a club, you've got nothing to lose doing it. Like,
Very true.
And then for the players, even the club, you can actually gain something from it, whether that's publicity, etc. Like that's where I feel American sports do so well in terms of any opportunity to monetize, they will do it.
They will do it. They will do it. That's
Literally,
what I'm saying.
here they do it, but like there's always depending on if it's gonna be somewhat of a culture shift or something that's related to that. There'll be a bit of backlash and double thinking. Boom. It's like even today. Obviously, you don't watch NFL, but Philadelphia Eagles have trademark tush push.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you can make
that?
go on.
So it's one of their plays in the NFL that it's just they're the only team that's successful at doing the play, and the league are considering banning it. But
No way.
because Philadelphia always get they trademark. I read that they trademarked it today, like the move. So I didn't read further, but obviously anything that says tush push, I'm guessing
They make money off
yeah,
now.
they'll make money off it and stuff like that.
Okay,
So
yeah.
because like commentators just started calling it tush push,
Yeah.
and then boom.
No, it's a way. But we spoke about before. American market. I think they market everything better
Everything.
than the
100%.
UK.
Yes, everything. That's correct.
Because we actually said to ourselves, if we were to take our lives and go to America, we'd probably make more money.
Yeah.
Just due to the way we live our lives here and take it over there.
Yeah.
But they market everything better than we do. So that's like where we fall short in the UK compared to the US, especially in sports anyway.
In sports, yeah, like from college, you're getting. I think we spoke on it earlier. These crowds are like 60 to 100K or something for college, and obviously, like adults are watching this. People are betting on this.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's just as big, if not bigger, than NFL sometimes, NBA sometimes. I think they're very much like next to each other.
Oh, hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Because of the donors and the
donors,
the
all
sponsors,
all the money
yeah.
involved. It
Like-
gets crazy. The tournaments, March Madness, like,
Yeah.
everything gets crazy.
Yeah.
So
Like even Final Four for college
Final
football.
Four,
Because
yeah.
they're expanding that to 12 next year.
Yep.
So
Even the fact they're on the main like sports channels.
yeah.
Like they're on ESPN.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
They're-
crazy.
Like you could never see a university game on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean.
BBC.
No,
No,
BBC,
real talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Whereas
night.
Saturday, you know, it's
That's it.
college football day when college basketball. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like the programs that you'll see are very much professional environment.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's little like hardship transitioning from a very big college program to the NBA. You're used to the cameras, used to the crowds, used to the noise. And now I believe there's like money involved for players able to make money.
NIL
yeah.
deals.
Yeah, so all that's like in place already. And I mean, I think the money thing is the newest, but other than that, like I was looking at this when I was young. I'm like, it's the same.
Yeah.
Like the experience looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Watching like a really high level college basketball game to the NBA.
Yeah. Would you say like the experience of college sports kind of prepares like you for life or anyone for life, for instance? So even if you know you're not going to go into say soccer, NFL, NBA, just because like you being an athlete, you've had that adult experience.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Would you say that kind of helps people to an extent, or can it go the opposite way because you're used to that, but say you didn't reach the level that you wanted to, etc. and stuff like that?
You mean like as a player, or
Person.
like as someone that's just experienced the atmosphere of a game?
No, as a player.
As
Yeah.
a player.
As a player, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I think so. I think it does give you like that confidence that not many people get to experience, because obviously you're on the team, you're playing in front of however many people. You've earned that right to play there, so it's like, I'm here to do it.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to do it. And while you're on these teams, growing up, freshman, sophomore, junior, like you're learning so many new things. You're becoming like a way different person than when you first started.
Right.
So yeah, it's all character building.
Development process.
Development. So you're learning and taking a lot of like life things with you after you're done. I've played on a team. I mean, like my college team. Not everyone wanted to go pro.
I was just about to ask
Yeah,
that.
so-
I was literally
yeah.
going to say, was there any of your teammates that didn't?
Yeah, not everyone wanted to go pro. Not everyone did go pro, and you'll find that at every D1 college program, essentially. I'm sure.
See, that's the difference
That's the difference
between the UK and the US.
Yeah.
Because you see, if you're, we're not going to use the university system. If you're in an academy, you're
doing it to make it to the first team.
That's what you're doing it for. Like you're in it now because you've been doing it your whole life. You're now in it to go ahead. You don't even do the education side because you think you're going to be a professional footballer.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
That's why the level's so high.
On that point, because I was going to come into the education part, was there like, not to sound silly, but how serious did you take education? Like with just because obviously you knew you still wanted to play football. Do you know what I mean?
Ask him his background of parents.
I was gonna say
Yeah, but like that's the parents.
But you got to ask him his background of parents.
Because that's one thing that I appreciate about the sporting culture is that you have to get an education there as well. Like you have to somewhat pass. Obviously, I don't know the grading system and stuff like that, but how serious did you take it? Obviously, your parents background, Nigerian.
No choice.
So you got no
choice. But no, I definitely took school very seriously. My dad is an engineer, mom's a nurse. My sister went through an engineering program in high school, which I later on went through, and then my brother went through. And so I started off in college as a mechanical engineer major.
Nice.
Ended up switching to economics and got my degree in economics. So I was always very much school focused at the same time as football. But when I did make the switch from engineering to economics, I had done it because I had a battle in my schedule.
Okay.
And the engineering class I needed to take conflicted with training somehow.
Okay.
Somehow conflicted with training. So after being in this engineering program for like the one in high school for like 4 years, I'm in college now. I'm like, okay, like I'll be able to, take what I learned, keep going. I ended up having to switch to economics, which is fine. Like I was really into economics and obviously ended up getting my degree there.
How early did you do that switch?
Early.
Okay.
It was like first semester freshman year.
Oh wow.
So like
how did your parents take it?
I think they were fine with it.
Okay.
They understood. Yeah.
They were just happy you were in school.
Yeah, exactly. They knew I would never they knew I would finish.
Yeah, they understood.
I always got good grades, and they know the importance of school. I know the importance. I've never really slacked off ever. But yeah, I had made that switch early just so I can be able to continue to do football properly and school. And yeah, I think senior year was tough because my final year economics classes were hard. I was in like 4 of them at the same time. So I had to properly like dig deep, get it done. I ended up getting a degree there and then still playing. So
that's
nice.
Big. That is big. That is big. Because like I was saying, I always find that mixture very interesting. Whereas like you were saying with the academy boys, there's you'll have education on a Wednesday for a couple hours.
And if you go, you go. If you don't go, you don't go. And it's a coach taking it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it's on the laptop. You're doing a B-Tech and, you're not really doing anything that's going to help you in the future. You get what I mean? You're doing your level 1 coaching badges also. That's the one you do. You have to go bigger and you have to go literally beyond. Like I went and did an A-level just because I
really?
might. Yeah, so I did.
Know that.
Yeah, I went and did the A-level just because I needed something to fall back on just in case. You get what I mean?
Because the percentage of footballers making it in the academy is very low.
Very low, yeah.
Very low. But it's not like our system sets you up for failure, but it doesn't set you up to succeed if you're not going to be in the football room.
110%.
And I feel like that is what some clubs are trying to change.
I've seen that.
I think I've seen Trent Alexander-Arnold's recently starting an initiative to help players in the academy that don't make it or something along those lines.
Crystal Palace have that one that they've started. But it's too late though, isn't it? Don't you think it's too late?
I think it's a little bit too late. I'm glad it's getting in place.
Yeah.
But it is
because you think about the thousands, millions of players that have missed out on the opportunity to have an education.
Yeah, but they'll also save the millions coming through and the thousands coming through.
I understand that, but then you've got the ones in the past, like
you could just say your age group.
Yeah, in my age group, everyone that stopped playing has to go back to square one.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So if you get released at 21, if you get released at 18,
because some boys might not want to do coaching at all or stay in football.
Yeah.
Like some boys just are good at football but not like the actual game or say enjoy watching it for instance, which I completely get. But then if they're not gonna somewhat make it,
What
It's
do you
like,
fall back on?
Yeah.
Because you haven't learned anything else but football, especially as we've moved schools when we were 14 to be full-time in football. And then we've gone from 16 to 18 full-time in football. In those 4 years, we've missed out on an education.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, cool. You're now going to get released at 18. You
Yeah.
have nothing to fall back
That's-
on. You miss 4
insane.
key years of life in terms of education.
Bro.
And then they're telling you, go into the world and do something.
It's true. That's why I see all these stories of like footballers crumbling here in this country after like not getting a pro.
Back in the day, it used to be bad.
Yeah,
it used to be bad.
So I'm grateful to grow up in America and go through the college thing because they really pushed education as well.
Right.
I know a lot of good players that weren't able to go to certain schools because their GPA just didn't align with what you need to get in. And even obviously I went through it. My GPA was considered for sure. How good is my GPA and how am I going to get into school? I didn't have a problem because I had a good GPA.
Yeah.
But I knew it was going to get reviewed. I knew, they considered the academic side and all those kinds of things. But they look at that and they definitely value that.
Can you just tell us what GPA stands for?
Yeah. Grade point average.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, that's like...
Me, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I've seen GPA many times.
Yeah.
Like, bare acronyms, but
So it's a point system. To my best knowledge and memory, like an A was a 4 or something, B was a 3, something, and it'll just through your classes they'll average out the numbers.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you can get this GPA in this class, this GPA in this class. It's
No, it's not like that. Yeah, it's like I get an A, like say 7 classes, I have 5 A's, 2 B's, A's worth 4, B worth 3 or something. Add them up, average it. GPA 3 point something. Or GPA.
Right.
Like if you have all A's, you have a 4.0 kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen the 4.0 GPA.
Yeah, 4.0 is real good.
Now it's just making me think back to like Coach Carter when he told them to
No,
keep a certain grade average. Now I'm thinking, I know what the actual grade is.
Exactly. So you have to keep a good average to go to better schools.
Is there anything that stops you from playing in terms of if your GPA goes too low, you can't play?
Yes. If you
Obviously, you didn't have that.
I didn't have that. That's correct. That's correct.
But there is possibilities if your grades are too low, they won't let you on the field.
Yeah, if your grades are too low, I believe at my school, if your grades are too low and you were not doing the correct like study hall hours, which we had that were mandatory. You guys are compulsory. They were mandatory. Yeah. They were mandatory. I think freshman year you had to do like 8 hours per week or something. In study hall, like you had to be there.
What,
Monday to Friday?
It was a whole.
Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday?
Just
I think
within the week. Oh, yeah.
I think sometime within the week. Sunday didn't count, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Sometime within the week, you had to properly log the hours that you were in there.
Oh, shit.
And I think it was 8 minimum.
My goodness. So they basically had you working.
Essentially, you have to be in there doing some sort of work. But if you slack in school, I don't think that you can get on the field.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Is study hall like a library or like a big library?
Yeah,
basically?
It's like a big library, or is in the offices like near like the people that will help you out per team, like the study hall mentors and stuff. But yeah, it was my school was definitely like a proper education school. There's a lot of state schools that I think you can slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
Because it's so big.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of good sports programs.
Yeah.
I think coaches can finesse players getting in because maybe they're not as tight and whatever and looking at all these ins and outs. But my school being smaller and it was highly ranked in terms of education, and the business school is really good. I wasn't in the business school, but it was really good.
I mean, you could have gone there if you wanted to, right?
I truthfully think as an economics major, I was, but I think it was a certain kind of economics that was, and then economics itself, like overall, because it was like micro, macro, and I think overall, it's kind of blurry, but I just know our business school is really good, and you just have to do good in school as well to be on the pitch.
Right.
You can't just not.
How were like your football coaches in regards to you guys' education? Did they make sure, like, encourage you guys to stay on top of it, etc., or like were they somewhat lenient? Just for instance, say you're a star player, they didn't bother questioning like your GPA or whatever or stuff like that?
No, they definitely told us go to study hall. That was very vivid for me, remembering hearing to a few of our players in the starting 11 that they need to go to study hall and get their hours.
Make sure the ones in the starting 11.
Make sure they get their hours. And obviously they care that you get them because I'm sure they know if you're not doing well, you're not going to be able to play.
Yeah.
It'll affect the team.
See the man on the bench? He weren't telling them that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He weren't. He wasn't telling them.
He said it wasn't my problem.
Exactly.
He said
he told him a bit less. But
yeah, but the main men like yourself, he was telling go to study hall.
yeah, make sure you don't slip there. For sure.
Nah, America's an interesting place, man.
Yeah, the whole thing's interesting, but I loved it. I won't lie to you.
I can
College
imagine.
was great.
Where do you prefer then? England or the US?
I get that question a lot, and it's hard for me to answer directly because London is a city to me. Well, not to me, obviously. London is a city, so it's a whole different experience.
Right.
Like, obviously now in fashion, I can do so many things fashion related in the city, but I can go, different places, do different things, different events, a whole different cultural experience versus back home in Colombia. Great, like little city. More suburban for sure though, family oriented, like good public school system, but it's a way different atmosphere and environment than London. So it's like for me, city versus suburbs.
Right.
And
but you moved into one of the busiest cities in the world.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
From the suburbs.
Yes, I experienced both
that's true.
and love both. It's hard for me to pick where I want to stay, or like, what I really prefer. If it's a city, I prefer London. Like I've been to New York plenty of times, but obviously I lived here. It's great. I go home, and I'm not like, I need to get back.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy home for sure.
Yeah.
I enjoy the atmosphere. I enjoy everything about it. It's a different vibe, like I'm saying. Then it's also like older. Obviously, London, you meet so many people your age, do lots of things your age.
That's true. Events
Anything.
every weekend.
Yeah, but because I am this age, like I would rather be here.
Yeah.
Like in my 20s, experience in life.
Yeah.
Like pushing boundaries, doing different things because cities allow you to do that.
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
Different.
I think that's like one of the big pluses for London in particular, because like even living in different cities, not outside of London in the UK, not to diminish them, but like majority of the time people come to London more for work or move back to London for better opportunities and stuff like that. I just, when you mentioned New York, I've been there a few times. I call it London on steroids.
New York is so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because
That's the word.
It's an interesting place.
That's the word.
But yeah, no. What about? 'Cause obviously Baltimore's like the main city in that state, right? In Maryland.
In Maryland,
Or-
yes, because DC's close,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Washington DC is its own entity, state. Like it's not. It's within Maryland. It's like on the border of Maryland and Virginia,
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's not part of any state.
Ah.
It's kind of a sticky one to understand.
So like with Baltimore, is it obviously
Baltimore's a city within Maryland.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it completely different from like?
Oh, from
say-
Columbia.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you when you're going, because I've only been there briefly once because an uncle lives there, but that was
Okay.
when I was younger, so I didn't really know compared to what I know now and stuff like that. But yeah, is it like?
Yeah, so Baltimore is 100% different than Columbia.
You can't understand people from Baltimore.
You can't. The slang is unbelievable. It's an interesting one.
Am I wrong in it? I feel like I previously heard that Baltimore slang's kind of similar to London slang, or am
I think they're
wrong?
saying the accent.
Oh, the accent.
The accent
yeah.
with certain words.
No. I've
Was
heard
it the
people.
slang?
You heard people from Baltimore speak.
Now I've heard like the accent for their slang. Like,
It's either New York or Baltimore. They say the accent is similar. Is it New York?
It must be.
nah,
It's more.
I feel like it's Baltimore that I've heard. Yeah,
Baltimore.
I've never heard New York in my life.
Yeah,
With
New
the
York.
accent being similar to
Yeah,
London.
the only ones that
It's
I've
New
heard
York or
like in
Baltimore.
terms of like the North American like say cities or states whatever is Baltimore to an extent and Toronto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Toronto.
Toronto's
Toronto.
accent is horrible.
But they say it's kind like
It's similar to
It's a
us.
mix. Yeah, but it's a mix.
They also
remember-
sound like Caribbean sometimes.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
sound like
Yeah.
everything. It's like 4 in 1. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Oh,
It's
man.
interesting. But yeah, Baltimore's different than Columbia. It's only like a 20-minute drive for me, 15.
Oh, that's cool then.
But yeah, it's more like African American for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no, I realized.
yeah.
I was like, I'm home.
yes, most definitely. Certain neighborhoods in Baltimore are not as good as others, that's for sure. But there's very nice spots within the city that I've been around to. It's not that big of a city as well, though. I don't know if you know, it's actually really small.
In comparison to London?
Yes, it is very small.
Oh, okay.
In comparison to London, very small comparison to New York too. Like it's these cities are plenty times bigger than Baltimore. So that's why, in a sense, like I've outgrown Baltimore.
Yeah.
I've obviously lived in Colombia, so I've always been there.
Yeah.
It's not that big. I've kind of been around the whole thing. I went to school in Baltimore. It's like right outside the city, so it was a really nice area. But yeah, I feel like I've paid my dues over there.
Paid my dues. I heard that.
Yeah.
It's a good city, still technically home, but I'd love to experience the world really.
Well, with this brand,
I was just about to
with
say,
the brand, you probably can.
Exactly, with the brand and you know, my career currently and all the things I'm doing, pretty much more so European than where I'm from.
Yeah.
So,
do you think like going back to football that you can live anywhere in the world, like and play football, and then knowing full well it will not affect Joshua Muhammad?
Could I do that?
Yeah.
It kind of
Because I
depends.
feel like most of Joshua Muhammad's been technically you two but being away from each other. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you've already had that head start in particular. But just to say a great football opportunity came up at a country you weren't expecting.
Saudi.
Yeah.
No, we're just throwing it out.
It is true. So, like,
well, I mean, you said he's back in Dubai, right? Or
yeah, he's in Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's China.
China. I don't know. The thing is with me, I'm not money oriented, so I just want to do what's best for myself and best for the brand. Right. So it's hard to give a direct answer, but anything I'd have to consider it for sure and weigh out the pros and cons. Yeah.
Like any decision, I guess.
Yeah, with like any decision. So just do what's best for, because it's not just me, obviously, in the brand. Like it's two of us, and we're building something that's gonna last a lifetime. So yeah.
On the topic of fashion, because we got back to it.
Yeah.
I want your top 5.
I thought you were gonna say I want your top.
No, I want that too. I do want that as well, but I'll go online and get that. But the I want your top 5 athletes. Well, drippy athletes, let me say. So your top 5 fashion athletes.
Okay. Let's see.
And it can be any US, UK, European, because you watch football galore. So
yeah.
So top 5 dresses in sport.
If I can give you 5, I'll give you 5. I'm gonna start with the top ones. I think Hector Bellerin is definitely one of them.
Okay, this is
obviously very like planet friendly oriented as well.
Yeah.
He's got a good knowledge of fashion and sustainability, which is good. Moise Keane, I think I liked him as a footballer, like before he was plenty into this fashion stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, he obviously could have been in it the whole time, but
Yeah.
I started following him like back when he was like going on loan to Hellas Verona, like way back from Juve. So I like his transition into fashion, expressing himself for sure. After that, I think those two mainly. I'm just like I really like what they've done. And then if I can give you anyone else, I just don't want to seem like it's too mainstream.
No, even if it is.
Stephon Diggs.
He's great. The thing is, to me, obviously, I don't pay attention to that sport.
Yeah.
So for a while, I wasn't into it. But Stephon Diggs, 100% great fashion style. I've been locking into him a bit more for sure, and seeing how he's dressed and stuff. So 100%.
I could throw in a few names. Tyrod Taylor, if you know Tyrod Taylor.
I don't.
He's always on Fashion Week.
I don't think I've seen.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor's got a good.
Is it?
Yeah, real good. That's why I follow him.
Okay.
I like follow some people just for the fashion sense.
No, that's
Okay. Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb, 100%.
Of course.
Great athlete. Athlete. I was thinking mainly, I guess, football-wise. Like you said, it could be anyone.
Yeah.
Football-wise. Who in football, fashion-wise? I'm trying to think. Oh, Joe Willock.
Joe Willock. Yes. I think he's got great fashion sense.
I think he's got an interesting fashion sense.
Interesting, yeah. He's definitely expressive with
Yeah,
it.
no, very expressive.
He's got good fits.
Yeah, Reece Nelson.
Still, Reece, good fits.
They're
still.
similar.
Yeah, they're similar. And they're boys, I'm sure.
Arsenal got the fashion fit sat down to a T. Like Ben White's in there.
He's trying.
Man said he's trying.
I'm not trying
Pulisic. I'm asking. I've not seen him dress, but he bought the brand, so I have to ask.
Yeah. No, I mean respect and love because he got the piece.
And said you can't dress, but respect.
That's not it.
I'm not.
He was going to say, I ain't really seen him dress.
Exactly. I've not really seen him dress to a full extent. But yeah, of course, like I made that piece. And he bought it, so he knows what he's buying. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Someone that seems like they're into fashion, but I can't fully remember how they dress. Memphis Depay.
Yes, Memphis has got a good. I followed him for that as well, for the dress sense. But I think it's more. He's more. I'm gonna wear the brand. So, me and you had a discussion one time when we spoke about the generic outfit that we said people going out in.
Yes.
The B-22 boys.
Oh, okay,
you get what I mean? I feel like Memphis has like a he's the first to start like one of them trends. You get what I mean? So he's one of those kind of guys. Who else in football?
Oh, whereas the ones that we've named, they're a bit more different.
Out of the box. Yeah.
You can tell now more footballers are trying to dress. I'm not trying to, but be out of the box. Like saying,
I'd say so.
With the whole different.
Leroy Sané's got a good style.
Who, Leroy Sané?
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen a few fits with him. Who else is there football wise?
I feel like Serge Gnabry. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gnabry as well.
Yeah.
Ousmane Dembele.
Okay, I think
he's here and there.
David Alaba.
Yeah, clean.
He's
clean.
And obviously, Jules Koundé now has got unbelievable
fits. I'm surprised. That's who I was thinking when you mentioned Barcelona. Because Barca always post him.
Yeah.
I always post him in all the fashion magazines now. Are getting into him.
Koundé, he's leading the charge for Spain in general.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, a lot of like the French, European, To be fair, even thinking, because obviously when France got on international duty, theirs is when they get to Clairefontaine, like their training base, it's their form of league fits.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Also the Dutch players.
Players, yes.
Yeah.
Whereas England, St George's, trackie or Night Tech. If you didn't get your trackie in
It's
time.
unbelievable. That's what I'm saying here. It's like, why are we doing that?
It's just, I think it's a UK thing.
It's a UK thing.
We're miserable.
It's a very miserable thing.
We are miserable. I'm gonna say it. We're a miserable country.
Or it's like they want to stick to somewhat the standard that they've set, whether it's the right or wrong standard. Do you know what I mean? Like stick to traditional ways. Like, bro, go with the times. Bro. If these men want to come in how they feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like.
But you know they get slated for it though.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And to be fair, our kind gets slated a lot.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So.
Definitely not. But hey, as long as the brothers embrace it and they don't take on what it's like. Sean Dyche made a weirdish comment on the weekend when Lewis Dobbin came on for Everton and scored against Chelsea. He was like, he really appreciated the fact that Dobbin went and like kind of celebrated with the fans, but he done knee slide and he said all his teammates appreciated that gone round to him rather than doing one of these silly dances and the blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, like you're so archaic, bro. Like if man wants to dance to express himself, that like to celebrate his goal. It shouldn't ever be a
problem, and we know what's happened with Vinicius as well.
Bro, a celebration means nothing. It's how they want to celebrate. What, you want man to go like that?
Or just like get down and get back to our field.
Like, bro, yeah, no,
it's as you said, it's different for black people, and it's always going to be. But I feel like we're trying to make a change. Yeah. And I think we're a movement. We are a movement, and people want to follow us now. So
I've said it episodes ago, like the black players here as well, especially the ones that have a good name, like club name, good club stature, etc. Like if you want to speak on something or be not be expressive, but stand on your shit, bro, do that. Like you're in a position of power to an extent. if you're not harming anyone in any particular way,
Right.
bro, like, so.
The thing is, sometimes they're not harming, but just receiving backlash for doing something different.
But this is what we say we love about the American athletes.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Interviews, they don't care.
No.
Nothing. They do not care. And you'll see them. They will blatantly just talk.
Mm-hmm. You guys aren't afraid to say whatever's on your mind.
Yeah.
Because if the backlash comes, okay, what are you actually saying to?
I don't know if you know Jamal Adams, and he's at the Seahawks now, but he was at the Jets.
Yes, he's got a good fashion sense as well, by the way.
Or the week before when they played the Cowboys, a reporter or journalist of some sort just posted a clip when I don't know if it was CD Lamb that smoked him or one of the Cowboys players, and the reporter like quote tweeted saying "yikes" or something like that, and Jamal Adams like posted man's wife and said yikes.
No way.
Yeah. Obviously, and he crossed the line, didn't it?
Yeah.
Doing that. And he said straight, yeah, I crossed the line, but I think I got the quote on my phone or something. I'll find it. But then, like, I think Michael Irvin was speaking about it on Undisputed, that, like, he knows Jamal's dad, spoke to his dad about it, everything. And they were saying, like, this reporter has continuously made, like, little digs at his career since he was at the Jets, innit? So I was like, oh, yeah, you can hold a bit of free smoke. Obviously, you don't go for man's family,
That's
you get
crazy.
me? It's nuts, but you just look. But I'm just saying, imagine a footballer hair.
It's over.
Like, just done something along those lines, and they
It's
answer,
so
like, bro, it's nuts.
Yeah, no, the authority is
That's
different.
it. He said, when others go low, I'll go lower.
No, but you know what? Sometimes in life, I think you got to do it.
Was true, but
I think in life you got to do it to know that then you're not messing around with them anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
So that brother that said what he said, the yikes, he's not going to say yikes again because he doesn't know what's coming back. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
alright, cool. Before like we wrap up, what would you say is obviously it's between you and Mohammed, but what would you say is like the goal for or one of the targets for the upcoming new year, for the clothing brand Joshua Mohammed that you're both wearing, both sporting? They left me out. I didn't get the memo. But yeah, what would you say is like that kind of target for you guys?
Yeah, definitely reaching global, like, dominance. Just global,
Dominance, I like that.
Yeah. Exactly. No,
that's true.
That's honestly the overall goal for us, for sure. And we value unity, like we said. So if we're able to work in more areas where we've already been, that's for sure going to be, on the agenda, and just growing the brand in different areas and getting into stores for sure. Moving into wholesale and things like that. So yeah, that's definitely on the horizon for 2024.
And your football career?
Sign at a very good club and get as many games as I can, and stay consistent for sure, and just keep moving up. Truthfully, so it's gonna be like my 3rd or 4th year. Definitely just sign at a club, play full time, play the whole season, stay healthy, God willing, and just do my best I can.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you might know already, but what English team do you follow, or like when you were younger? What's the English team?
I'm a big Arsenal fan. Big Arsenal fan.
There we go.
Yes, I got another one. I got one with me.
Now I'm outnumbered.
Yeah, I got one with me.
That's definitely my childhood club for sure, and I still like keep up with them. So
yeah.
Let's go a few quick fire then. Favorite player growing up?
My favorite player growing up, at first, interesting, Balotelli.
Okay.
Balotelli, and then it was Neymar. Neymar Santos days, Neymar early Barcelona days, Neymar before controversy days.
Cool.
So now I don't necessarily have a favorite player.
Yeah.
It's just that like my last favorite player was probably Neymar. I just think a lot of things were kind of at a certain stage, and at that point I just started appreciating football.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I wasn't really hooked on one player. I wasn't really, all eyes on one player. It's just like, okay, like Arsenal's my favorite team at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm watching soccer here. I'm watching Serie A. I'm watching La Liga. I feel like a lot of people where I'm from weren't always watching like those kind of leagues.
Yeah.
And keeping up with that, and I was always watching like those highlights and things like that, and trying to understand the difference in the game in different countries.
Yeah, because
So
you
just
can see like the style of plays and
yeah.
the pace of the game in different leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Like so when we were, well maybe just before you were born, when I was like 3, 4, maybe 5, they used to show Italian.
No, I was
league,
around. Yeah.
like on Channel 4, Channel 5,
Yeah.
religiously.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that was the top league in the world at the time. Then in the mid-90s, I'd say mid-late 90s,
100%.
and that's what like we used to.
They were the Premier League before the Premier
Yeah.
League.
Because
Yeah.
especially with the financial aspect, but it's just the Premier League monetized it much better
Yeah.
than them in Spain. And now,
Okay.
obviously, that's where the controversy comes in, saying Premier League are taken over, etc. Blah blah blah. Because you got teams, no disrespect, but like Bournemouth are competing with like Milan or
Yeah.
Roma for players
Yeah.
and stuff. So
It shouldn't be that way, but
yeah,
it
but
is.
It is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Another quick.
Yes. Your favorite fashion brand outside of Joshua Mohammed?
Nah.
Good one. Great one.
So think about that. Nah.
Yeah, because I
Great
knew you were
one.
gonna try to say his brand. So yeah, no.
Day in, day out, you will see me in this.
Gotcha.
Definitely got me. I've been real into Rick Owens recently. I haven't acquired any pieces yet, but I've been real into the cuts and overall like brand aesthetic.
You're a man about the details, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. So I think I've definitely like really delved into that Rick Owens recently.
Fair.
As far as pieces that I own, I can't lie to you. 90-something% of my wardrobe is my own brand.
Well, no, I can imagine
yeah,
that.
I don't really.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
If you're not wearing your own brand, then you're doing something wrong.
Something wrong, or just I don't know. But yeah.
If like say when this is a bit of a silly question, but when you and Mohammed are on like calls, like say Teams calls or whatever, and if you're to see someone wearing someone else's brand, would you highlight it to them or
If like what?
if it's not a Joshua Mohammed brand?
So if he's wearing Gucci,
if he's wearing Gucci and we're both in a call with someone else.
No, you're both in a call with each other, but he's wearing Gucci, and you're sitting there looking at him like, "Why are you wearing Gucci?"
I think we'll definitely make a joke and be like, see what
Oh, but obviously,
Yeah.
if it's like a call with someone else, then
we would never
oh,
do that.
okay, yeah,
No.
Always being your brand.
Yeah, we always wear our brand.
you'll be like this on camera.
Yeah, it's on camera.
Yeah,
But it's
by
not
the
even
way.
a discussion anymore. It's like standard.
Yeah, no, that's
Because
fair.
we've gotten to a point where we've got a good range of different styles, not just like the normal t-shirts and hoodies we've got, and like we're making proper pieces, which is all been really good and really blessed. So yeah, we are always in the pieces. It's essentially standard.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
Look, should I ask one more?
go on.
I don't know if I got one
If
more.
you got one more.
Don't know. I would ask favorite song right now because we always do a song of the week segment on the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Go on.
So favorite song right now.
If you don't mind.
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
Yeah,
go on.
feel free.
Because we always do like a song of the week.
Yeah.
So by default, that's made me recently not play the same song twice. I mean, 2 weeks running or something like that.
Gotta change it up.
Yeah.
I think it's Regardless by Naomi Sharon.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've definitely been listening to a lot of her music recently. So
Something
she's a
different.
very
Do you
soft
know
spoken
this
singer.
artist?
Yeah.
You're well, much more versed than me.
Yeah, everyone
I'm
knows I
basic
love
with my
music.
music. Like, so. Naomi Sharon, did you
Yeah.
say? Okay.
Might have to add that to the playlist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very soft song. But
Don't worry,
I like it.
they're just doing the playlist. We're adding that one. So.
That's me.
Yeah. Finally, Christmas plans. What are you doing?
I will be at home with the family enjoying. My sister is back home now, which has been really good. She's been in California for the last, 7 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Big up,
been-
sis. She helped me one time with
Yeah.
my Christmas presents.
Oh,
She's,
so-
Yeah.
she's a real good, blessed person. So I'll be at home with her. My brother's around as well, and obviously my parents. So that's
Lovely.
me.
Nice.
Alright, bro. Very much appreciate this.
For sure.
This has been fantastic. Very much different for me in particular. And just having the opportunity to meet you, speak to you about your brand and just your dynamic way of life in terms of football and fashion. Like you're one of the few that's actually you hear of footballers that are into fashion, but you've dropped the hammer time ago and you're like, dude, this is what I'm doing and moving on, as well as still wanting to have a football career as well. And like I just really appreciate like your vision everything that you've explained to us, it's just got my mind going overtime. I'm thinking, shit, like, you're what, a couple years, I won't say much younger than me. I don't want to reveal my age, but like your maturity, everything. I just feel continue, like you said to us, in terms of all the advice that you've given to other people, in terms of keep going. You yourself, you keep going by default. Jacob's been saying your name, like your brand, to me for even way before we started this podcast.
That,
Literally over a year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what are you wearing now? Joshua Mohammed.
Yeah, he's been locked in. He's definitely like one of the first in the country when I came to properly lock in. So,
bro, if I like something and it's quality and it works, bro, and it's black.
Yeah.
It's black and it's color. You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I love it. So
yeah, you've just been inspirational for us.
Definitely.
Keep going, and we're gonna try and follow your mantra.
Appreciate that. Yeah, 100%. Honestly, real glad to have come on, speak to you guys, talk to about lots of good topics, get to know each other. So
I can't say anything else more than what Joe said. Obviously, my brother, I'm glad and happy to see you back in London. Happy to even just get this done, man. And yeah, now as Joe said, man, keep it going because, as I said, he said you're an inspiration to us and. All we can do is find inspiration from the people around us, and
yeah, no, for sure.
That's it.
Appreciate it,
for sure,
100%, and best of luck to you guys as well.
Cheers, my brother.
Thank you. Don't worry, we'll bring for a different lens to Columbia, Maryland.
Yeah,
fantastic.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously, tell a friend to tell a friend. Deji's not here to finish that off. But like Jacob likes to say,
like and subscribe.
You get me. So Joe signing out.
Jacob signing out.
Joshua signing out.
Cheers. Take care of yourselves.
Peace.
Thank you for listening.